Alright, let me just take my glasses off real quick so we can get down to business. So, I just wanted to make a quick video talking about prior service. Excuse me, something just popped up on my phone. I just want to talk about prior service, my MEPS experience. So, I was at MEPS yesterday, the Buffalo MEPS. So, I'm going to just tell you the process real quick, what my experience was, things along that line. Something super easy so I can hurry up and get home. Alright, so, you stay at the hotel the night before. The hotel wasn't bad. They had like a little meeting at 8:30 to go over what to expect tomorrow, and me and my guy walked in about 2 minutes early, and she was like, "You guys are late." It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, we're fucking 2 minutes early, and don't give me that 15 minutes early type shit, because like, the military is like that, but it's not like that. I remember half the time you would just show up on time. That's when the formation would start, no one would say shit. So you see what I mean? I wasn't fazed by it. I was like, whatever, fuck this shit, not a big deal. My roommate was kind of a weird guy. I think it was only me and one other prior service guy going through that day. He was a Navy vet. He was in like 15 years ago. He wanted to come back into the National Guard. So I'll just break down how the process went. You had to get up at 4:45 the next day. They give you breakfast. You go up there around 5, 6, I can't remember exactly. It was cool because the last time I went in December, so the sun still wasn't up until super late and it was cold. This time around, it was summertime, so the sun came up when we were driving over there. Like, it was just cool. And they were a lot meaner the last time around. Like, when I first walked in, they were yelling and don't look at your documents and just being super pricks. And this time around, they just completely different 180. They're way nicer. I don't know if it... I mean, they were nice, and then once they looked at my packet and saw prior service, I mean, they were talking my ear off. Because a lot of them were prior service too, so it just was cool. So when you first get there, they're going to give you some directions. Take your shoes off, walk through the metal detector. Don't put your shoes on until you put your book bag away. Put all your stuff in there. You can't have your phone or anything. You're going to go through medical. You're going to get your eyes and your ears done first. Make sure you can hear and you can see you're not colorblind. You don't have bad depth perception. After that, you go through a little brief. They're going to tell you that if you lie about anything, it's fraudulent enlistment, and they can punish you under UCMJ and try to scare you to make sure you tell the truth, and that they're there to help you. When, I mean, they told me when I swore in that 60% of people don't make it through MEPS. They disqualify 60% of people. So I don't know how true that number is, but that's just what they told me when I swore in. I only swore in with 2 other guys, and one was an Air Force guy, and the other was I think a Navy guy. A lot of Navy guys there. But anyways, you go and you give you that brief, you do a breathalyzer, too easy. I mean, I was so comfortable this time around. Like, I slept the night before. Like, it just was such a better experience this time around for me. And I don't know if it's just because I was prior service or because things just got easier, but it was chill, And then after that, you can do your little brief, and then you're gonna kind of get moved around. They're gonna tell you where to go. Hey, go to room, blah 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 blah. You're gonna get a physical, they gotta check your balls, shit like that. The guy that I had didn't even tell me he was gonna start. He just fucking yanked my ear and just shoved something into my fucking ear. He's like, yeah, your eardrum's not exploding. I'm like, yeah, well, it probably is not if you just jam that thing all the way down my fucking ear canal. So they check your ears, they check your, you know, if you're a male, they check your genitals, male or female. They gotta check your asshole. Just part of it. That process only took about, it's like 3 seconds. They just check for a hernia, they check your foreskin, they check your asshole. They explain to you before what they're checking for, so you don't feel uncomfortable. I mean, it was a completely different experience. The first time around, they didn't really tell you. You just kind of went through and whatever. So I saw the doc, whatever, and then I got my blood drawn, super easy, piss test. And then you have to go in this male tank. Females go in the female tank. You're in your underwear, and you do a bunch of movements with your wrist and shit just to make sure you have no pain and make sure you can do all the things correctly and you have no injuries. They were a little bit more adamant with me because I was prior service. They wanted to make sure I didn't sustain any injuries while I was in, because a lot of guys do. But I didn't claim anything, so I had nothing on my disability or anything, so there's nothing to really find. So, but I was fucking laughing, man. I don't know if the Army just fucked me up or what, but I was like, I literally said a lot. I'm like, this shit is so fucking gay. Like, this dude next to me is breathing all heavy like he's working out, and we're just doing stretches and shit. And he's like fucking sweating all over the floor. I'm just laughing. This dude, like, I'm like, this is like a gay fashion show in our underwear. But I guess it's just the Army gave me a fucked up sense of humor. I don't know, but I'm gonna roll up my window because it's raining outside. Excuse me. 1 second, guys. 1 second. I apologize. 1 second. Alright, so anyways, let me just open this so my radio shuts off. So after that, I mean, you go through that little thing, and then I think the longest part was going to my liaison. You go right after you get your medical done. If you pass everything, you don't get kicked back, you'll know, because if you get kicked back, they will tell you. You'll have to come back and you'll get disqualified. A lot of people got disqualified. I think only, excuse me, I was the only National Guard guy that enlisted that day and actually got put in. The other guy had to get a waiver for he had hands on his tattoo, and the other guy had high blood pressure, so not a lot of guys going to the National Guard, a lot of active duty guys, a lot of people shipping, a lot of Navy guys for sure, a little bit of Air Force. Like last time I went through, it was all active Army. There was not a lot of Air Force and Navy going on at that time, but this time, holy shit, man, there were so many Navy recruits and Marine recruits, and it was nuts. But so yeah, you talk to your liaison, they go through, they do all your paperwork, write your contract up, you know, things like that, and then they'll type it up, whatever, and then you take it into this little background check room. If you know the Buffalo MEPS, you walk in to the right. That's where you get your ASVAB taken. You walk in, excuse me, and then the other room before you walk through those double doors to the left, there's just spit everywhere, excuse me, is where you go. They fingerprint you, run your shit through the FBI database, make sure your background check's good, sign your contract, do your SGLI, all that good shit. And then once you go in to do that, you go back to your liaison, and they finish up your contract, sign up. You're signing your contract there, by the way. That's when you sign up. So I don't have to go back to boot camp. So as soon as I signed up, I'm officially back in the Army. I'm in the National Guard now, so I don't have to go back to boot camp. As soon as I report to my unit, it's a done deal. Like, I'm already in, so all I gotta do now is in-process the unit, and that's it for me. Go to my school, get trained up. But the last thing you do of the day is just swear in. Now, mine was a little bit different because I wasn't going active duty. I had to swear into the state and the federal government. People that are going active duty just swear to, you know, America and the state. So I had to do my own little thing. I was the only one in there, National Guard, so I had to, you know, all eyes were on me. They were teaching us parade arrest and attention. I already know that shit because I was active duty. So it was nothing to me. As I said, as soon as I signed in, my recruiter came up to me and he said, welcome back. And that still sticks with me. My NCO, well, not my NCO, well, he's my NCO now, I guess, because he'll be around in the unit and he's an NCO in the military. But that recruiter, he's a really good guy. He really took care of me. Talked to him a lot. Like, I can't say that about my last recruiter, so I think he did a really good job, and I'll still see him around the unit, and hopefully he doesn't smoke the fuck out of me because he is E7 and I'm only E4. But as I said, I had a lot more fun this time around. Prior service veterans, I'm telling you, you already been through the military, you already been through boot camp. You're going to get more respect than all the other guys, obviously, because you already served. But it's just, you realize, like, how this is just nothing. Like, this is just nothing. This really is. It's nothing. And, like, if you get disqualified, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I know I didn't have to go to boot camp, so I didn't have anything to worry about. I just was like, shit, if I don't pass, I don't pass. It's not the end of the world, whatever, type deal. But all the other kids are scared shitless. They don't know what they're getting into. But it's for prior services, I said, guys, if you're prior service looking to go back in, it was an enjoyable experience. I was fucking laughing my ass off when you do those stretches because that guy was fucking sweating. He was so out of shape. And then just was like a gay fashion show. When I had to get my balls checked, that shit was uncomfortable because the guy was weird. I mean, I was shooting the shit with a lot of the fucking Air Force guys that were working there. Like, I would get there, and, like, the guys, you know, doing the piss test on me, and obviously not talking while I'm pissing, but after he's, like, checking my urine, you dip something in there to make sure there's no narcotics or anything in there. And, I'm just fucking, we're just shooting the shit. I'm like, yeah, you probably hate your job. He's like, yeah, man, I hate working with piss. Like, just, it's completely different round. Like, they want to know where you served at. Like, it's just mutual respect there. And obviously the other recruits don't get that. But I feel like because I was there, I lightened the mood a lot. Because I was comfortable and I was making jokes and talking to the service members, the veterans, the civilians. Like, just shooting the shit. Just not obnoxious jokes, but like, for example, one of the civilian ladies, you know, asked me, I keep saying, you know, excuse me, asked me how I was doing. And I said, great. And then she did my eyes real quick, and she's like, you know, you have 20/20. I don't know why you wear glasses. I'm like, because I look good in them. Like, just joking around. Just lightening the mood. And I feel like because I was there, and I was there to lighten the mood, a lot of the other guys over there were just comfortable because they fed off my vibes. And I talked to a lot of the guys during lunchtime, and a lot of them, talked to me, and I asked them how they liked it, and they all said it was a good experience and it wasn't anything to be worried about. So I feel like I did my job as a prior service vet to make sure everybody was comfortable and get through the process as easy as possible. And I just set the tone, and it just was a more enjoyable experience than it would have been if I was there and I was nervous. So, and I had another prior service guy who was just chilling too, who just could give a fuck less. Like, we were both just sitting there shooting the shit. He's like, hey, you prior service? I'm like, yeah. And we're just like, oh, hey, what'd you do? And he's like, yeah, I was Navy. And asking me, hey, what should I do in the Army? Because I was active, and I've been around Cab Scouts and the combat medics, so I have an idea on what they do. I don't know exactly what they do because I was not a Cab Scout. But as I said, it's nothing to be scared about, guys. If you're a new guy coming in, prior service guy, MEPS it ain't shit. They told me a lot of shit that was really hard to make it through, and it's really not. As I said, I was shooting the shit with most of the people in there, and I think there was only one guy who kind of addressed me halfway sideways, and I just kind of looked at him like, man, who the fuck are you? Like, watch your mouth. And it's not because I'm a vet or anything like that. It's just personal respect. You don't talk to somebody fucking sideways. You know, treat me with respect and you get respect. That's how the world works. Not really, but that's how I work, at least. So it was enjoyable. As I said, I was laughing my ass off. Learn to have fun there, guys. It's going to be a lot of hurry up and wait. I'm not saying talk loud and be fucking having a party, but just sit there and just know that this is all part of the process, and you'll be fine. And if you get a prior service guy like me, and then if you had me there, you'd be laughing your ass off, because I wasn't nervous and people were just feeding off me. So that was my experience. Super easy. Back on the guard. Now it's time to go get MOS queued and get this shit done. So wish me luck, guys. If you have any questions about MEPS, it's fresh in my mind, so I remember all of it. I just did it yesterday. I will do my best to answer, and I'll tell you guys a little bit what the National Guard's like, because I already made videos on active duty, so I'll let you guys know what National Guard's like. So wish me luck, and hopefully my career is good to go, and I get through MP school nice and easy, and I get to do what I set out to do.